Good morning again, friends. Did we like the last chit chat get ready with me? Because I've got some chit chat to do. I have to get ready, so it just makes sense to do it all together. I feel it's repetitive. If you like it, I'll keep doing it, but I feel it's repetitive and it feels silly because I use the same makeup every day. I am going to try a new product today. We all have heard, I'm sure, and if we haven't, then I mean, maybe you have a life off the internet, and congratulations to you, because I wish I did. What is this? The Glowy Super Gel Illuminator. This is in Warm Glow. You guys know I use the Auric Glow Lust, and I feel that the Glow Lust is more of like, has coverage. I don't know, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I'm also going to talk to you guys about some stuff that I have going on. I got the color Warm Glow. It looks very similar to like the Auric one, like it's got pigmentation to it, you know what I mean? And I really don't know how to apply it. I think it's always best apply with your fingers a new product first. So I've got like nothing on my skin. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit for this. It's very moisturizing. How are you guys? How have things been since last week when we last spoke? I have some things coming up. I never leave my house. I never really do anything. Like once a year, really, I'm away from the dogs, and so that's odd for me to have some things coming up. I'm going to New York City with my friend Alana, and we're going to see Chapel Roan and do some shopping, all of the things. And I'm going home for a little bit too, back to Ontario. First impressions. It's really hydrating. I don't know. I think there's like a sheen on my skin, but I'm not like, wow, that's amazing. I feel like I've only ever seen like incredible reviews. I think that it's a really great base probably for other makeup, but I definitely don't think I'd wear that on its own. Like I still think I want to put the Glow Lust on by Auric. I'm thinking I'm going to do like a little bit of a glowy makeup today. I'm still going to use my regular concealer because it's the Pretty Fresh Creamy Concealer by ColourPop. I keep seeing like these videos of people applying foundation, and I just think that it looks so nice. But I feel like with foundation I need to do like the full coverage, full makeup look, and I just don't have it in me. This is the e.l.f. bronzing drops. I don't know if you've tried them yet. I have tried them. I think that they're really nice, and we're going to try to use these more as like an all-over bronzer, but you could drop some drops into like your foundation or moisturizer even, and then you could wear it as like an all-over thing. I have become quite the e.l.f. stan lately, but it's really forgiving. Like it blends beautifully. This is the color that I have. Mine is rose gold. So I put it on the back of my hand, and then I will dab my beauty blender into it. Do you see how like forgiving it is? It's such a nice color. They have darker ones, obviously. I feel like I could even probably use a darker one of these. But then I think if I get a darker one, then I'll like apply it poorly. You know what I mean? I need the forgivingness of the lighter shade. I would say like probably do your neck, but like really make sure you buff it in, kind of thing. Then blush. I have two blushes, both by e.l.f. because I'm a cheap gal. These are the colors that we have. I tend to always go for the crazier one, the Coral Crush, but I think today we're gonna do Dusty Rose. Color swatch is like that. It's actually more vibrant than you think. Just gonna put it on my cheeks. I like a blushy look. My skin looks flawless. Girl. Any of the other like normal products I use, like the Laura Mercier setting powder, I'll link below. Obviously it'll all be down there, even though I don't necessarily like mention it. So yeah, life has taken a little bit of a change. Obviously in the title of the video, Michael and I are thinking about moving. I know what you're thinking. What? You found your dream house? Like, what do you mean you're thinking of moving? So let me explain, I suppose. Back when we were thinking about moving here, or at least moving, we had like a couple options on the table. One was obviously this moving to Nova Scotia, and the other move was moving closer to Michael's work, moving somewhere that we hadn't ever lived before. I truly think the reason that this won us over was because of this house. If you guys have seen the house tour of this house, you know that it's sort of a dog's paradise, and we have since fenced the entire property, so it's become, you know, even more of a dog's paradise. It had a dog bath. It was all one story, which was like a must-have for us because we rescue senior dogs. And not only that, it was like well priced for being what it was, because it was like further out than, you know, where most people want to be. You got a lot of bang for your buck, as they say. You know, we didn't necessarily need to be anywhere specific because of, like, you know, working from home and Michael working on the road. Been renovated from top to bottom, so everything's like brand new, and it's not the house's fault at all. And I think that actually makes things a little bit harder, because you're like, wow, will I ever get a house that was as good? And truthfully, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever end up in a house as good as this one. The only thing that I can fault the house with is just how large it is. This is like a house that, you know, is made for either a family or people that want to have family, or maybe people that have kids that come and visit all the time. It is quite a big house, and I think typically I wouldn't complain about that, but when you have senior dogs, sometimes it's hard to be in the same room as all of them. Sometimes that's just difficult, and I kind of miss about our old house is that, like, remember everything in my old house was like in the same area in the spot, and I could see every dog, no matter if I was in my bedroom and they were in the living room. You can't with this house. Like, if someone's in the living room and you're in the bedroom, like you can't see what they're up to. So I think that's the only thing I'll fault the house on, but it's not really a fault. It's just something different that, you know, we've had to like get used to over time. I also don't want to fault Nova Scotia itself. Nova Scotia is very, very beautiful. If you've ever been here, I'm sure you feel the same way. And I don't want to fault like the Nova Scotia people either, like the community and stuff. It's all wonderful. People are very accepting and pleasant and just like kind. And I think I thought when I moved here to be closer to my family, I think I expected something vastly different. I think I expected to have sort of like that family dynamic that I always dreamed of. I really thought that's what I was gonna get out of it. Unfortunately, it's not. I said this in a previous video, and I'll say it again, but you know, this is the closest I've ever lived to my family, and yet like the loneliest I've ever felt. I don't feel like uprooting my life to be close to my family was the right thing to do. I lean on a lot of my friends more than necessarily my family. Living close to my family has been quite a big disappointment for me. Yeah, and even Michael, like from his perspective, like he thought when he would leave, you know, I'd have my family and it wouldn't be so hard for him to like, so hard on me for him to be gone all the time, right? It just hasn't been like that. It truly has felt worse, I have to say. Like, you know, at least when I lived in Ontario, you know, I had my friends that I could go and see and whatnot, and I don't have that now. I mean, it is what it is. I think I just thought like when I got here, it would be so different, but people have like their own lives and their own priorities, what's important to them, and I just felt like I wasn't, you know, I wasn't a priority. So I guess that's like one part of it. I don't think I'm gonna do much more makeup than that. Fix Plus, guys, MAC, I'm telling you, even if you don't like your makeup, it just like melts it all together. And I don't know if all of you know where Nova Scotia is. If you don't live in Canada, you probably don't, so you should do a quick Google search of it. It's kind of like a peninsula, really. Like, it's attached to Canada, but like on either side of me is just ocean. It's not like where I lived in Ontario before, where you could just like drive to the States. Here, if you wanted to go to the States, you could take a ferry that might take you 3.5, 4 hours. It is quite an isolating place. And then you guys know that like Michael works on the road a lot. The man has to take a connecting flight basically anywhere he goes. And it's pretty wild. Like, it is really rare that he can just get on a plane and end up where he needs to be. You know, being this far out here, it was supposed to have, I think, so many positives that would outweigh the cons, and it's just not turning out that way. Guys, by the way, this makeup is slaying. Like, I kind of take back what I said about the glowy super gel, because it underneath is like just making everything look so good. We've talked about how, you know, he would be able to take more jobs if we were in a different place. It's one of those things that I think that, like, if we were to list our house and not get what we want for it, we would just stay. Because I'm not like miserable here. It's not like my last house where my crazy freaking neighbors were like just absolutely insane. You know, here it is very quiet and safe, and the dogs are happy, and it's not like that. It's not like, holy heck, we gotta go. I want to read you a comment that somebody left on one of my videos recently. It was the video where I had said, like, you know, this is the closest I've been to my family and the loneliest I've ever felt. And I just want to read it to you because maybe it will resonate with one of you if you're feeling at all similar to how I'm feeling. It said, I moved over 30 times in my life, for marriage internationally, to be closer to family, and just life. This last time I moved, I thought about a place that spoke to me spiritually, and that's the ocean. But a place that was still vibrant all year round, and now I'm in Brighton in the UK. I wanted a place where I could make my home. I won't be moving from here. I think when I was younger, I subconsciously moved in hopes, gonna make me cry, in hopes it would change how I felt on the inside. After some therapy and letting go of what doesn't belong to me, I learned I am my home. Here I have no family or friends, and I feel like I belong because I'm not searching outside of myself anymore. Also because I really nailed the place that spoke to me, spoke to the person I am, and the surroundings that make me happy. Whenever I'm out and about and I catch a glimpse of that blue, expansive horizon, it fills my heart with joy, and I smile. Home really is where the heart is. I've always felt like home is where my dogs are, but I haven't nailed down the location in which we are together. And so Michael and I talked about how, you know, like, this might be really our last chance to, you know, experience something different, because, you know, we're in our 30s now. My birthday is on Saturday. Mid-30s, I should say. I'm being kind to myself. But, like, now is the chance to do it. I think I felt like a failure because it was like I did this big expansive move, and I had, you know, I had apologized to Michael so many times about just being like, I'm sorry that we did this. I thought it was the right move. I guess it wasn't. And he said, like, don't be sorry. Like, we couldn't have never known it would have been like this. If you ever want a lip product that is beautiful and so naturally colored, the Lancome Mademoiselle Plays 232 is such a stunning color, and it goes on, you'll see, it literally looks so natural, but it has pigmentation to it, and it's just, it feels like there's nothing on my lips right now. My hair has dried, floofy, quite floofy. I think for my hair, I'm just gonna do like a loose wave. I think my biggest fear is that I won't be happy anywhere. So far in my life, I've been chasing this feeling of like home, and I have learnt recently that like that feeling of home lies within my dogs. I'm scared that I'll never feel like I am home, because I just, you know, I keep losing dogs, and so, you know, when you lose an animal, I'm sure a lot of you know, like, you don't really want to go home. It doesn't feel like home anymore. And yeah, so I think that like I have been chasing that feeling ever since Curly died. Will I ever find a place that feels like home again? I don't know. And it's hard because moving is so expensive. And so we've talked about like this time around going somewhere new, somewhere that speaks to like both of us, instead of buying a house, just renting for a while. By doing that, you can kind of like get to know an area and say like, okay, like, you know, we moved here, but we really love this area. And then, you know, maybe you go and you rent in that area for a bit and you're like, hopefully you're like, yeah, okay, you know, like this is a place where I could see myself living forever. Like that would almost be the goal. We've been talking about this a lot lately, and I don't know, usually I don't speak about like a move until we've, you know, already done it, until we're like in the midst of it. But I don't know like when it's all going to take place and when it's going to happen. And so I just feel like it's okay to like open this conversation and talk to you guys about it in that sense. I'd love to hear your stories if like anyone has ever been in a similar position to me, and like sort of what you did. I think I'm kind of making the right choice in terms of following my heart and just trying out some new places. I envy these people who grow up in a town and then like love that town because like their family is there and they always feel like they can come home. I envy people who like have no desire to move. I'm not wanting to move because I'm like, oh, it would be so fun. No, girl, moving with your dogs is hard, and moving your life around when you have furniture that you love and, you know, and you're gonna need again, it's not necessarily that fun. It would probably be a lot more fun if you were doing it like and you didn't own anything. And I truly look at people who are like, yeah, this is where I want to like live forever and set my life up, and I go like, how do you know? Yeah, moving, can you believe it? That's where we are in the talks, in the midst of all of that, and I just don't know exactly how it's gonna play out. I've gotten pretty good, guys, at my bangs. So this is what I've like figured out. I have this little hot tool. It does not blow air, it just is like a hot brush. This is what I think works best for me. So I'll like kind of make this stuff go that way, and then I'll take this middle piece of hair, and then this thing goes through it really fast. Like you don't want it to be too curly, you just want it to not be flat against your head. Okay, so like that. Then for like the longer pieces here, this is like the key to making those look good. So brush it out, and then you take this and you're gonna hold it essentially like here on your head. And then you're going to brush these, get them nice and hot, and then brush them out so that they just like have fully swept that way. And you're gonna leave them like that to cool. And then these ones, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna brush and then pull all the bangs up again. Get them all nice and hot, and then brush them out going that way. I don't really know what to wear today. I was thinking about like using this Get Ready With Me as an opportunity to pre-plan what I'm gonna wear to a baby shower. I recently thrifted a dress. This is it. It's like this brown floral dress. I think it's really low cut. And I don't really have a problem with low cut, but I think that if you are gonna wear something low cut, it'd be nice to see a little bit of lace through it. So I'm gonna put on this lace bra and this dress. Okay, here's the dress. Has like, you know, the little bit of the lace showing through. I don't know if it's like necessary, but I feel like it's cute. The dress obviously looks cute as is, but it's not me, because Tasha would like make a simple dress like this a little bit more exciting. I recently thrifted this. It still has the price tag on it. $14.99. And because it's brown, I'm thinking it's gonna look good. I think it does. It just adds like a little pizzazz, you know? For shoes, I'd really love if I had a pair of brown cowboy boots, but I don't. Not my fave, but I don't think we have any other option. I don't know why, but I feel like sunglasses on the head kind of like add to the 70s sort of vibe of everything. So I think this is the fit. Again, wish I had brown boots, but the white ones will have to do. Pretty much all thrifted, except my boots are from Marshall's, and so are my sunglasses. I feel like it's so hard for me to do outfit videos like this because everything is thrifted half the time. So this is the fit. Thank you for watching. I feel like a little 70s queen. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for hanging out with me today. It's so fun to do these. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!